Mexican spices? Nacho cheese sauce? They don't want these coming out.
Taco Bell has been offering an American twist on Mexican cuisine since 1962, and there are certain weird restrictions that staff must follow. So, let's take a look at 10 bizarre rules that Taco Bell employees must obey.
Rules are rules.
They roll their burritos in a specific way.
I'll come with you, show you how it's done.
Burritos are one of the most popular Mexican food dishes in the United States. They're essentially a flour tortilla filled with beans, ground beef, cheese, and other toppings. In recent years, though, chains like Taco Bell have expanded to include a wider variety of fillings, such as steak and chicken. Taco Bell even debuted a steak burrito earlier this year, proving that the Mexican food favorite has officially gone mainstream. One Taco Bell employee claims that there is a special method taught in training for rolling burritos that all staff must follow. Customers are always asking why the components in burritos and other meals are evenly distributed at some locations, while components aren't mixed well and clumped together at Taco Bell locations. The employee claims that they are instructed to fold objects in the shape of an H, placing all of the ingredients in the tortilla's center. That way, when everything is mixed together, you get a more equal taste of everything in the wrapped meal. However, the employee said that the products that aren't mixed evenly are due to the folding of their items in an I form that isn't optimal. This means that when it's time to wrap the burrito, the ingredients are not distributed equally. As a result, they're all included in one part of the wrap. To keep customers satisfied, some managers strictly enforce the H-shaped burrito rolling rule, as picky as it may appear.
It's non-negotiable.
If you want to make your own Taco Bell copycat recipes at home, use the H-shape rolling procedure to get a picture-perfect, uniformly blended duplicate. There's a method to handing out sauce packets.
The sauce, oh maron, the sauce. Continue.
Taco Bell has been offering hot sauce for a long time, and it's earned its reputation by using the same chili peppers used by Hui Fong Foods, the company that makes sriracha hot sauce.
For spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
Taco Bell's namesake hot sauce, which is about as spicy as Tabasco, can range from mild to fire, as they call it. When you place an order at Taco Bell, the quantity of spicy sauce packets that a worker puts in your bag might vary quite a bit. It's not uncommon to run out of sauce before the end of your meal, leaving you high and dry. On the other hand, it might feel like your fridge or pantry is packed with a variety of Taco Bell sauce packets to last a lifetime. And despite the fact that it appears to be completely random, it isn't. There is a method to the sauce packet craziness, according to a couple of staffers who spoke about the saucy conundrum. Employees are instructed to hand out only one sauce packet for each item. When someone asks for a handful or a lot, though, things get complicated. A lot, as you might expect, does not equal a certain number. When a location is busy and staff are required to get orders out as fast as possible, some employees choose to hand out a large number of packets to prevent potentially dangerous lineups at the counter or drive-through window. Finally, if you want a precise quantity of sauce packets with your next Taco Bell purchase, you should just give the busy staff there a specific number. Having a couple extra sauce packs on hand is usually a good idea. Chili, nachos, and homemade tacos are just a few examples of dishes where any extra packets can be used. They have a very strict dress code.
Okay, meet me at the bar in 15 minutes and suit up!
Where's your suit?
A dress code or uniform isn't uncommon in chain restaurants. In fact, it would be odd to encounter a fast food restaurant without a dress standard. The uniform worn by staff is crucial. When you have hundreds of sites across the United States, many restaurant franchises have realized that it's critical that guests are met with almost the same menu items prepared in the same way by personnel wearing the same uniforms. It's a reassuring show of consistency for many Taco Bell customers, and presumably for company owners, that comfort translates into consistent revenue. Even the tiniest detail of the Taco Bell hat is designed to be worn in a certain way, according to Taco Bell staff. One questionnaire inquired if Taco Bell staff were permitted to change the way they wore their hats. However, according to the responses, the only way they're allowed to wear the hat is with the bill of that hat facing forward. Taco Bell's hat policy is pretty tight. Even the topic of an employee's hat angle isn't up for dispute for most supervisors.
I'm for real. I'm for real.
But what about a branded belt? That's quite a surprising addition to a normal fast food dress code, but it's in the employee handbook. Employees are required to wear a Taco Bell belt when on the clock at the store. The good news is that the belt will be provided, as well as the rest of the employee uniform. Taco Bell's dress code is fairly straightforward. The corporation provides employees with a Taco Bell shirt, hat, belt, and jeans. Employees must also wear non-slip black shoes. Undershirts that are visible must be clean and pure white. A hairnet may be required for specific positions, such as that of a cook. Jewelry such as watches and bracelets are not permitted in a restaurant's food preparation area. Taco Bell's employees are allowed to have tattoos, facial piercings, and colored hair. However, the scope of these privileges varies by region. Office workers cannot bring in food from competitors.
Because he is his own worst enemy, the enemy of my friend is my enemy. So actually, Jim is my enemy.
Taco Bell's Restaurant Support Center, the office of employees working behind the scenes of the franchise, has an odd regulation concerning what these workers can do during their lunch breaks. Employees at the Taco Bell Restaurant Support Center were not permitted to bring in food from any rival, according to a Taco Bell employee, or they would be reprimanded.
Hey, food from the outside!
Because the rule was started almost a decade ago, it's unclear if this regulation is still in effect. However, if someone works in the facility, it would undoubtedly restrict their fast food lunch alternatives. Indeed, it appears that the business would prefer that employees choose Taco Bell all day, every day. The funny thing, according to employees at the center, was that the trash cans outside the facility were always loaded with the telltale garbage of competitors' meals after lunch. Staffers apparently got around the regulation by eating their meals outside of the building instead of at their workstations, circumventing the prohibition. Employees can't hang around the restaurant.
Eric, you can't hang out here. It's really uncomfortable.
If you've ever worked in a bar or a restaurant, you'll know that it's not unusual to become a regular while you're not on the clock. For example, you may come in on your day off to say hello to employees and grab a bite to eat. However, according to a 2015 Taco Bell employee manual, employees are not authorized to spend any time in the restaurant when they aren't on duty.
What are you gonna do? Go to Taco Bell?
Employees are not permitted to loiter at their Taco Bell location when they aren't working, not in the restaurant, in the parking area, or on company property, according to the handbook. The language isn't clear on whether employees can get a meal from the drive-thru on their day off, but it's unlikely that it's allowed either. It seems like quite a strange rule, considering so many other restaurants allow their employees to hang around after their shifts. Who knows what Taco Bell's reasoning is for this weird rule, but it most likely isn't enforced at every location. They can't leave the restaurant with food.
Hey, it's my lucky day!
Your luck just ran out!
Taco Bell has a strange regulation that forces employees to stay at the restaurant during their lunch breaks if they use their employee discount to buy food. This rule has even made headlines in recent years due to it being so seemingly unjust. Employees can, of course, leave during their lunch break if they choose to not eat anything from the restaurant, but if they bought a couple of bean burritos or nacho fries from their own location, however, they must eat them there. The company's argument is that it doesn't want its employees to use their discounts to buy meals for others. Making their staff eat at the restaurant is an attempt to close what they perceive to be a potentially money-losing loophole. Several Taco Bell employees, on the other hand, were not pleased with the adjustment.
No, I can't take it.
I can't take it, Jerry. It's too much. It's too much.
Some employees believed it was unfair and that if they were compelled to stay on the grounds at lunch, they should be compensated. Despite this, the corporation received clearance from the Ninth Circuit Court. So if you're a cashier at your local Taco Bell, there's no way to slip Crunchwrap Supremes to your buddies in the parking lot during your lunch break. The food must be prepared in a specific way.
How hard is your job? How intelligent do you have to be to take a food order?
When training to become a Taco Bell team member, employees are lectured on the right and wrong ways of building the fast food chain's famous food items. Whether it be a simple taco or a Crunchwrap Supreme, there is a specific order set in place that must be adhered to. It's not enough for a Taco Bell employee to utilize all the appropriate ingredients while producing a menu item. The person must create the menu item in an exact order. The proper order is beef, cheese, and then lettuce for their simpler creations.
In alphabetical order.
Well, that's just how my brain works.
When it comes to more complex menu items, they each tend to have their own instructions on how they should be prepared. The guideline assures that the meals seem the same from one day to the next and from one store to the next. Taco Bell weighs every food item.
You sure you can lift this much weight?
Are you kidding me? I was the strongest kid in my camp 7 summers in a row.
If you're a frequent Taco Bell drive-thru customer, you may notice variances in the same order placed at different franchise locations. Perhaps you travel the additional 5 minutes to the Taco Bell where you feel the quesadilla has more cheese, or has that one worker who is simply the greatest at folding up your burrito. However, depending on how the restaurant handles its food, this isn't always the case. Every item at Taco Bell is weighed on a scale, according to a Taco Bell manager. Employees must toss out the item and start again if the weight is even 1/10 of an ounce from the specified weight.
You smushed the bread. It's too smushy.
When a soft taco is placed on the digital scale, it should weigh 1.6 ounces, according to the manager. All employees are trained with the scale, and they have to become used to doling out the ingredients precisely so that everything is the same weight. It seems like a difficult thing to get used to, and it leaves one to wonder just how much food each location is actually throwing out because of it being the wrong weight. Some store hours are determined by rushes.
Only 30 more minutes to go, man. We better not have no late night ass coming in here.
Taco Bell is associated with many things, including late-night snack runs. As a result, it's usually a popular choice for individuals on a budget who want a lot of meat, cheese, and carbohydrates late in the evening.
Shut up and take my money!
According to a Taco Bell manager, the inevitable late-night surge can sometimes dictate when staff can finally check out after their shift. According to the manager, at some Taco Bell stores, if the store has a predetermined number of sales in the last hour before closing, they must stay open for an additional 30 minutes. It's unclear how many locations follow this rule, but it's not unreasonable given that the business might earn a lot of money if a line of late-night customers is begging for burritos and crunch wraps. Taco Bell, after all, is one of those locations that becomes quite packed after midnight. If the line is still stretched around the building, it makes it likely that they would take orders past closing time rather than turning people away at the window or counter. It may not be so great for employees who are trying to get home as soon as their shift is over, but it certainly has earned Taco Bell some extra money and a reputation for serving the late-night taco-craving crowd. They can't remake your order without a receipt.
You got a receipt?
I can't find the receipt.
You should get the receipt.
Taco Bell has been a mainstay of the fast food industry for decades. The huge menu of choices at Taco Bell includes familiar choices, such as tacos, burritos, quesadillas, and nachos. But for many years now, Taco Bell has also been known for its innovation, including items such as the Frito-Lay Chipotle Burrito, the Doritos Locos Tacos, and the extremely popular Crunchwrap Supreme. However, their innovation when it comes to remaking a food order is a little strange though. Normally, a fast food chain would gladly remake any order upon hearing that a customer is upset with what they received. In an odd twist, Taco Bell has stated that regardless of the quality of an item, they are not allowed to remake any food without a receipt. An extreme example of this policy saw a customer not getting a fresh order of cinnamon twists after they found a dead cockroach in their initial order because they forgot to hold on to their receipt.
Unacceptable.
The staff are trained to make the customers happy. Therefore, it's frequently up to the worker to decide how to handle a messed up Taco Bell order in their own way. If a Taco Bell employee hands out an incorrect order, they'll simply redo it, or even hand out free beverages or sweets if the item in someone's to-go bag are incorrect. However, don't anticipate this at every Taco Bell you visit. To be safe, save your receipt until you've finished the entire meal.
It's for the best.
Thanks for watching right to the end. You're the best, and the best deserves more. So check out more great videos.